Let's start with this simple fact. Despite this guy's level of excitement, NFL preseason games are hard to watch. In the first 7 possessions of Saturday night's game, the Saints and the Cardinals ran 32 offensive plays for a grand total of 41 yards, which is 1.3 yards per play with 4 penalties. And here's the thing. The Saints are running a lot of fun stuff in their California camp, and we saw none of that in Arizona. To call the Saints offense vanilla, which is a commonly used term in sports, to say the Saints offense Saturday night was vanilla, I think is an insult to vanilla. Vanilla is one of the world's most loved spices. I think what the Saints ran was closer to maybe an unflavored gelatin offense. But there were still some things that we learned in this game, and we start our 4 takeaways with the guy who led that game-winning drive. Spencer Rattler started camp slowly, but he has played better and better as the practices have worn on. And you could say the same thing about Jake Haener, but I think Rattler probably has the bigger upside of the two. I think Spencer Rattler has the ability to be at least a solid backup, and this, for Rattler, was a good start, although his numbers Saturday were terrible. That quarterback rating would be the worst of any starter in the NFL, but with the game on the line, Spencer Rattler got the Saints in position for the game-winning field goal, and their Irish backup kicker, Charlie Smith, hit that kick. Rattler's cool under pressure at the end of a game, even in a game that didn't count, does mean something, although Rattler and Haener will only play this season if Derek Carr gets hurt. But at number 3, a guy who could earn some real playing time for the Saints this season, that's wideout A.T. Perry. Perry had more yards from scrimmage than anybody in this game. He was not good for the first 2 weeks of camp, but now he's got some momentum. And remember, most of his production last season came in the final 6 games. Saturday's performance was exactly what he needed. At number 2, the questions on the Saints' offensive line remain questions tonight. These are the 5 starters for now. 3 spots are solid with 2 question marks. These 3 are the 3 you don't need to worry about. Left tackle Tali Fuaga is going to be fine. These are the 2 concerning spots. Trevor Penning and Lucas Patrick each played 22 official snaps over 4 possessions, which produced 0 points. Patrick played 9 snaps at left guard, 13 at center. He was better at guard. He was beaten badly up the middle on 1 play on the Saints' 3rd possession, but he did some good things. Overall, I'd say he was okay. Penning, meanwhile, struggled on a half dozen of his 22 snaps. I would describe it as not horrible, but certainly not good. And it's the same thing we saw in training camp. He is extremely inconsistent. The question, will he be the starter in the opener? I think it could still go either way at this point. And at number 1, Willie Gay and the defense are the key to the Saints' success. Saturday, Gay showed what we have seen in camp, a dynamic playmaker who gives Dennis Allen interesting personnel options. So does Chase Young, who looks like a great addition to the team. And Brian Brzee showed flashes Saturday. I think he takes a major step forward. On Arizona's first 3 possessions of this game, they did not get a first down. Now, I know Desmond Ridder is not a quality NFL quarterback, but the defensive effort from the Saints' frontline guys was excellent, and it must be excellent for the Saints to win, because the offense is going to take a while. It sure looks like winning with defense is going to have to be the Saints' formula this season. And that's my 4 takeaways from the preseason opener in Phoenix.